Bluelock is an interesting anime, to say the least. I don't think any other sport anime can say that what got their characters through hardships and challenges was the power of literally being egotistical. On the surface, this show doesn't seem to be anything that insane, right? Oh cool, kid loses sport tournament and gets a second chance with new friends to make along the way, right? Absolutely wrong. This is where Bluelock decides that apparently the power of friendship and having a team in a team-based sport is absolutely unnecessary and stupid, to say the least. Not only does it say that the main character and everyone around him shouldn't work with each other, but it also tells us that they should try to steal the spotlight from each other, directly destroying the chance of a career for these literal 16-year-olds. But the crazy thing about this show is that it somehow works. Now, don't get me wrong, in absolutely no world will you get better at soccer by devouring your teammates. But Bluelock can teach us a lot for sports anime as a genre. Take, for example, the first stage of Bluelock, the team battles. In the beginning of this stage, we see the players trying to steal the ball from their other teammates so they can secure themselves a spot in the next stage even if their team loses. But the further we go through this stage, the more the players realize they should work with each other instead of being selfish, because if they are all selfish, then one of them will randomly get more goals than all the others and go on to the next stage. But if they work together, they will all have a higher chance of winning as a team. You know, like a normal sports anime. But then, as I like to call it, the show Bluelocks itself into saying that they should individually still be trying to get the goals for themselves and being egotistical in that way. Now, don't get me wrong, this is an interesting concept to explore and one that makes for some funny situations. And I think that's what really shines when you watch Bluelock. You realize how sports anime can be both somewhat about a sport, but at its heart can be a very strong comedy and thriller, and that's great. But it also shows us that a sports anime doesn't necessarily have to be that strongly about a sport. It can also be somewhat of a shonen, or a thriller, or a comedy at its root. And all of this is what really culminates to show us that Bluelock is changing what it means to be a sports anime. If Bluelock was just another, oh yeah, we're a team, so let's play this team-based sport, then it would be no different than any other sport anime. But it's changing how we see sports anime. It's showing us that a sport anime can also be somewhat of a shonen at its root, or somewhat of a comedy or a thriller, not just a sport. Besides this, the more you watch Bluelock, the more you realize that out of nowhere it will hit you with a genius idea that can be so simple but so interesting. A great example of this is after the end of the last second selection match for Isugi. When Isugi loses due to something that he calls luck, Ego sees as a completely different thing. Hey, Future David here. It's been about a week since I recorded the audio for this video, so I might sound a little different. I wanted to let you know that I was gonna show you the clip of Ego explaining luck, but for some reason YouTube copyrighted it, so I'm gonna record my own audio explaining it and show you a few images throughout. Sorry for the inconvenience. Basically, Ego shows an example to us viewers. Have you ever been shot on by a bird? I think you'll agree it's the worst. But after being shot on, you realize something. The ground around you is covered in bird shit, and when you look up, there are a bunch of pigeons above you. Can you really call it bad luck when you could have avoided all of this by simply taking a note of your surroundings sooner? And this rule applies just the same to football. And this is only the beginning of the genius behind how Bluelock shows that a sports anime that shows an incorrect and very stupid portrayal of a sport can still be great in its own way and somehow extremely genius and correct. Besides that, there is also the matter of characters and character development, which Bluelock has some of the best I've seen, not just in sports anime, but in anime as a whole. Now, obviously this should come with a warning, as I have not seen much anime yet since I am pretty new to anime. My mouth list is in the description if you would like to take a look at it. But I have to say, out of the anime that I have seen, as far as characters go, this anime beats almost everything that I have watched, excluding some like Attack on Titan for example. Now, to be fair, this anime does have some drawbacks. One that is easy to point out is the absolutely disgusting 3D animation, but since that doesn't appear too often, it isn't that annoying. The story is somewhat slow at times, but it does get very good when it gets to the interesting points in the story. There is also the fact that if you lose in Bluelock, you can never represent Japan in the World Cup, which is a little extreme for some people. But I have to say that personally, if you think about it, if you aren't good enough now to beat Bluelock, then you probably won't be good enough to be on Japan's World Cup team. Though, if I could change it, I would say that everyone who passed the second selection should not have this punishment anymore if they were to lose in Bluelock now. Other than all of that though, I feel that Bluelock is a great anime that shows potential and could really change how we see sports anime moving forward. Other than that, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and join the Discord server linked below. And that's about it. Okay, bye.